Hello, welcome to Boardgames with Niramas. I'm Joseph, I'm here with Drako. Today we're going to take a look at Ignite, which is a new game that just came from Kickstarter, and also 2 expansions for it as well. There's a lot of stuff here, it's a huge box. Now Ignite is one of these games that I did a Kickstarter preview playthrough video for. So me and Drako, back in the days, it must have been 2 years ago I think, we did a playthrough where we just showed off how the game works in a prototype form. So if you want to see how the game works as its base, then you can go check out that video. I'll put a link in the description of this video as well so you can find it. But for now, we're going to check out the actual completed game. And I am excited to do that because, you know, I have played this game, or the prototype, and I thought it was pretty fun. And now we finally get the chance to see the final thing here, which is amazingly huge and heavy. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in the box. So here we are with a insert, and I already see a bunch of minis, Drako. They're all in here. We have a rule book. This game is designed by Darren Tepstra, by the way. Nice guy that I've been in contact back then when we did the whole preview thing. Card glossary, all right. We have a Hall of First. Oh, so we're supposed to put in like who won and so on for each race. Kickstarter exclusive, new content. Okay. A lot of Kickstarter things in here, I guess. I don't remember, but I assume it was a bunch of stretch goals and all that usually happens with Kickstarter. We have some punch out. These seems to be standees though, like some kind of monsters, sea monsters. Pretty nasty stuff. I thought everything was miniatures, but maybe there's monsters that are standees as well. We also have some tokens here. I think this is like lava that can flow around on the board. So on, we have some tokens here. Could also be that this is for the basic. I don't remember if there was like a basic edition and a deluxe edition. I think this is the deluxe edition in that case. As you can see, there's a bunch of minis. Let's take a look at a few. This is some, what's it called? Kentaur, right? Big guy with a, I don't know, kind of plastic here. Does not look that great. I don't know if you can see it, but to me this looks not as detailed as some, I don't know, looks a little bit like cheap plastic, to be honest. So that didn't get me too excited. Same goes for this bear here. Oh, it's a panda, I guess. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like the best minis I've seen either. Yeah, the things in the back here, it's not a mistake. You have daggers that you're supposed to be able to put, oh, there's some gems, in the back of a character. So like when they have 3 life, and then you put a dagger in, and when you put the 3rd dagger, they die, which is a really cool idea. I think that's a super cool idea for this kind of game. This is a tactical fighting game, right? And if you look at this guy here, it looks a little blend. It looks a little, I don't know how to describe it. The plastic looks like it's a bit glossy, sort of. It looks, you know, it reminds me of, it's not as bad as like older Risk games from the 80s. I'm not going to compare it to that, but it still reminds me a little bit of that more than, let's say, Monumental or some Simon game, right? Where the miniatures are just gorgeous. These miniatures, I don't know. I mean, I guess if we paint these, they will look cooler. But yeah, okay, so that's a little bit, got me a little bit cautious there on the first layer. Let's keep going. Oh, so was this all the miniatures? Because these are just heroes, I think. Or like, you play like, I think we have 3. So if you're playing as the pandas, you have 3 pandas. Yeah, okay, these are the actual player pieces. And then I guess the standees are like monsters. There's a few monsters as well, but just mainly you play versus each other, right? The map pieces have an interesting system I remember these from the prototype. They don't look that great, I think, the artwork and everything, but I like that they kind of click together like this. So if you build out the map out there, it's not going to shift around. Some games have issue with that you just put pieces next to each other and they start shifting around a lot. There's a lot of these. Wow. A lot of these. I think we can build a bunch of different maps. And here you have, like, I remember you had some kind of city that you could be in. And this doesn't look that great. looks like really blend and dark, and I don't know. Looks a little bit like, you know, computer game from the late 90s or something. Which, I mean, some people might like that style, I don't know. Here's some bases, so I guess this is for your miniatures, right? So you can keep track. If I'm the red player, I'll have my 3 red units out there. Kind of standard. And here's a lot of standees in different colors, okay. So maybe these guys, the punch-outs, or could also, I guess they could be like summons or something, or allies too, because you can put them in a different color base, I guess depending on which player they belong to. Alright. Here's the little dagger. So let's do a little test here, because this is one of the sort of main features, or the thing that sounded the most cool with this game when it was on Kickstarter and everything. So this lizard guy, we could put a... no? How do you put the dagger in his... oh, there we go. Okay. So he can have, like, so now he's taking 1 point of damage. These were hard to get it to get stuck though, so kind of loose there. I mean, the idea is so cool. I really like the idea of it, because then you can just look at the board while playing and see, like, oh, that guy has 2 damage and so on. So I like the idea, but again, these also feel a bit cheapish, cheap plastic style. Bunch of baggies, and oh, there's white daggers as well. Not sure what the difference is. Then if we keep going here, we have some cards. So let's take a look at some cards. And we do have, also see that we have some dividers in here. So that's good, and some foam core here that we can, of course, organize all these cards. If we take a look at some cards here, we have, this is a deck building game, by the way, I forgot to say that, which is also, I think that was the thing that really brought me in and got me interested in doing a video for the Kickstarter. I love deck building games, as you probably know. Card quality is good, no problem there. If we take a look at the card, so the quick reflexes here, so you can use them for different things. You can use them for, like, for the text, like movement and so on. It's kind of like Dominion or something, or you can, well, it's not like Dominion. It's some other deck builders where you can use them to, like, for money, or you can use them for the effect. And then you need some items, like you need to play cards to, like, do attack, do range damage, movement. Like this Warhammer, range 1, damage 3 can only be used on a knockdown unit, cannot be blocked. The weapon melee special, and I think it cost 8 to buy, I think, and it's worth 3 money if you use it as money. That's how I think it works. And you start out, depending on which like race you're playing, you start out with certain cards, and then there's a huge grid of, like, I don't remember how many, but a bunch of different decks that you, with cards that you can buy to improve your deck as you go. And it also has the little Dominion-ish style there, where you, when you play, and every time you play, you can swap out what kind of card combos you want to have. That will affect how you're going to play during that. And trying to find synergies between different cards that you build in your deck and so on. That's always something I really enjoy with games. So yeah, all right. So that is the content of the completed. I'm not really sure where you're supposed to have, if you punch all of these out, I guess you can have them here or something. I'm not, well, we have baggies. Or maybe you can just have them on top here, I suppose. Not that much room. If you punch all of this out, like, you need to place it somewhere. But okay, that's the main box. So far, not that impressed. I think the look on the outside of the box is great, though. I think it looks great here. But those minis, I don't know. Yeah, I guess these days the standards are so high. So, like, of course I compare to the top. I think my favorite minis ever is for Monumental. That game, those just look so amazing. It's crazy. All right, so a new enemy. So this is an expansion with some tokens, and these tokens also look pretty bland and boring. I don't know. And what is this? Drako! It's a dragon! Look! I had no idea, Drako. Well, it's kind of on the box, right? But okay. So yeah, I don't know. Like, look at this mountain. It doesn't look that great. It's like glossy. I think that's the thing. That is, but I guess I mean we could fix that with some paint. And this dragon we would of course make it, you know, orange with the pink scales on the stomach and all that. Right. It needs to be like that. More daggers, more standy things. Oh wow, so many standy things. Some dice. Okay. And then some round cards, which were super hard to get out of here. Alright, so I finally got them out. There's some round cards. I guess these are dividers. Yeah, it looks like dividers, right? Probably put them there instead, so it's easy to grab. And more cards. Protect the wounded. I don't know if these are cards that you add. It seems like you roll a die and you get different results here. I assume it's some kind of added mechanic to the game that is not in the base game. You take a nosedive again there, dragon. We'll see you later. And then let's get into the final box here, which is the freeze. And I think the dragon and everything there, I think that's some kind of solo or cooperative thing, if I remember correctly from the Kickstarter page. Because just one dragon, that's probably not a player piece. It's more like, I think, a boss or something that you can fight against. And I'm more interested in playing this game cooperatively, to be honest, with Drako. Because I'm usually not a huge fan of these, like, you know... well, on 2 players it's okay, I guess. But on more players, I'm not that excited about sitting around and waiting for my turn to do combat out on a map against each other. I'm not really a combat guy when it comes to playing against each other, except for 2-player. Then it's fine, or solo. These are like catapults and ballistas, which looks really cool though. These standees look good, by the way. I think same for the base box. That's a positive. We have some, I guess these are new races, right? So is this like an orc, maybe? Yeah, it must be an orc. With same kind of, plastic. Again, sorry to be negative, but that's how it is. That's how I think of it. And this, is it an elf, maybe? Looks like she has wings. It's kind of weird. But yeah, like wings on her head as well. I don't know. But alright, so it's 3 out of each, so I just assume that that's more playable characters. And here's the freeze. There's this like ice and whatever that is. Some new terrain. More daggers. Oh, there's green daggers as well. I don't know if that's like poison or it's like different effects maybe. And bunch of new cards. So, oh, his spell cards. So I just assume, yeah, this is just adding to the deck building. So here you have new ones with new effects and so on, of course. Which I must say that I think it's a little bit weird. I mean, I'm coming from a Euro background and all that when it comes to gaming. And even though I like more thematic games these days, I think it's a little bit weird with these Kickstarters. And I guess Euro games do this as well. But when you release a base game and at the same time on the same Kickstarter campaign, it's like, hey, you can also get these 1, 2, 3 or whatever number expansions at the same time. Like, then you really need to be into that game if you're ever going to get through all the stuff in it. Like, I play so many different games, and this is not a campaign game either. This is you play against each other, right? Unless there's some campaign stuff, maybe a little bit in here where you're fighting the dragon, I think. So for me to get through this, not very likely. But I will try it out, especially if there's a co-op. I'm going to look up and see how that works. If there's a way to play cooperatively or solo, I will do that on camera in the future here and make a playthrough. And otherwise, I think you just, if you want to check it out, see how it's played, you can check out my playthrough that I already did together with Drako 2 years ago, where you can see how the game plays. Even though now you can see how it looks now, and then you can compare it to those prototype components that I had back then. So that is the unboxing for Ignite and its expansions. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening or morning or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye bye.